Hello and welcome to another episode of Sophia Wisdom. I'm glad to have you here with us. This show has been going on for a few weeks now, and every week I address a topic of interest to either me or something that a client of mine has brought up or somebody has emailed me at reconnectandheal.com, which is of course my website. And the other day I was doing a session with someone, a channeling session with someone, and not unsurprisingly, she asked about abundance and about her own financial challenges, shall we say. And so it got me to thinking about the differences between those who seem to have an inordinate amount of money and the very, very many people on the planet who seem to have so little. So what I'd like to address in this week's discussion with Sophia is the disparity between the haves and the have-nots. And I'm really just looking for some information about that, about why that is that way, and is there anything that can be done about that. And each week, as you know, I channel a topic, and these shows, I never know what's going to come out, so we'll just allow this to start to unfold. And what you can do to help participate is just begin to close your eyes, and I'm going to do that for a moment as well, and just allow the energy to become present with me. And Sophia is my primary guide in the channelings that I do. And while I seem to be able to connect with any number of guides, beings of a high frequency, it is Divine Sophia who's my primary partner. And she has told me that she is the Divine Mother, the creative partner to God the Father, and was responsible for seeding the planet with humanity. So I've said this before, I can't pretend to understand everything about this, but I love the way this energy feels as it moves through me, and I really, really appreciate the wisdom that comes through, and I think it's of help to not just me, but to many others. So here we go. Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, thank you for this wonderful connection, for this ability to speak your words and to offer assistance to those out there who are open to hearing the message. Sophia, if you would discuss for us, please, the disparity between the very wealthy and the very poor. Is not so much this middle arena that I'm concerned about, though of course that can be addressed, but it seems to me that so many people now are struggling with abundance issues, that they are having great financial challenges, and that there is almost a perversion of an overabundance of wealth among a very few, and so many, many more who have next to nothing, if nothing at all. If you would discuss that, please. You see, children, and we welcome you again to another episode of Sophia Wisdom. Children, you see, this boils down to one simple word, and that is balance. It is clearly out of kilter on your planet at this time. There are, yes, in fact, some who experience such an inordinate amount of wealth, especially in your Western culture, that entire countries could operate from their annual income. And while it may not be so obvious here, for example, in America or in the other Western cultures, the great disparities of those who make do with very, very little, you do not have as much an opportunity to see that unless you cross to the other side of the tracks in your communities, for it is there. But this disparity is a reflection of the disparity, the imbalances that are occurring everywhere on the planet. It is not just in the financial arena, is it? This balance or imbalance, perhaps, resides within each and every one of you. The more you as individuals come into balance and harmony within yourself, the more this will be reflected on the outside, and that includes through the financial avenues. There is a responsibility, and some of you are taking it quite seriously. There is a responsibility when you are blessed with huge amounts of income. There is a responsibility for you to use that to uplift your fellow human beings. You have been given this gift for a higher purpose than your simple enjoyment. And that is not to say that there is anything wrong with having and earning money and enjoying the fruits of those labors. That is not a problem. The problem begins to arise when, as your income grows, you further and further and further separate yourself from those in your circle. You can ask yourself, after your needs have been met, if you have food and shelter, if you have clothing on your back, a place to lay your head at night, if your basic needs are met and you are also able to enjoy more of the fruits of your labor, beyond that, what is it you are to do with this wealth? Some countries are beginning at a grassroots level to support with very little money citizens of the communities to begin their own businesses. Yes, you have read about these endeavors. And these small loans that are given to women, to other disadvantaged people that are trying to build a business, these are almost always repaid with no problem because the investment is such a wise one. Look for such opportunities within your own communities. And if your community is not the one that is calling to you, then perhaps another across the planet is. For here in America, where this show is being taped, there is so much wealth. Material advantage is everywhere, even as you complain about the rising price of gas. What you are complaining about has been the norm in other countries for many, many, many years. It is simply beginning to catch up in America. When you are in those parts of town where there is poverty, where children are playing on the streets because there are no parks, no playgrounds for them to be, do you see this fully? Do you take it in? Or do you simply drive through with your windows up and your car doors locked and give it not much further thought than that? Truly, you can affect great change with very, very little. It does not mean that you yourself need to go into poverty in order to help others. That is not what is required. We would not ask that, nor is it necessary.